Hello guys, we should be on live from the trading room. So hi everyone. Again, thank you for being with me today as usual. On Monday we generally talk about the market, forecast, what we can expect, what happened last week, and we'll continue by explaining and trying to find some opportunities. So guys, let me know in the chat where you're from first of all. I know that we already have recurrent members and recurrent traders from the 5ers that keep coming to the trading room, so very appreciated. Again guys, let me know in the chat, give a feedback regarding the sound and the video, and we're gonna start. On my side I think everything is set properly, but anyway, feedback is always good to have. We never know. Hi Lucian, how are you? Hope you're well. Hi Tommy. Hi Jan. Perfect. Okay, we get some feedback already. Guys, let me know how you managed last trading week. We had very high impact news with the inflation rate in US. Market was not ready for that. We got the indices dropping down 5% in one day, and today and the end of last week it was very silent, let's say, very silent. The market did not make any big movement, but we might have it very soon. But guys, get some feedback regarding how did you manage last week, if you got some opportunities, if it was very difficult for that. For me it was difficult last week, I will not lie, but again we had some good nice opportunities, and some even worse, but that's fine. Meanwhile, the first things I want to talk about is oil, okay, which actually is continuing dropping down. We are actually at $82 per barrel. We were at the top during the where it was not the during the beginning of the recession. I don't remember, guys. I have a big black trouble. Can you please get back to what's happened here? I did not remember what happened in oil, but it was probably something geopolitical or sorry, I just remember. Okay, it was between the war between Russia and Ukraine, if I remember. It was the beginning, and then the market slowed down. Please confirm me, guys, if you remember. But yeah, from a weekly point of view, the market dropped 0, moved up to 128, make a double top here at 122, and here we are sliding down back to the 80 level, which is actually a big key level, which is the 80 zone, the $80 per barrel, which is a good very great key zone. And generally I like to find some opportunities between oil and the dollar CAD. I still think that we might have some retrace at some point during this week in oil. Okay, maybe on the short term basis. Okay, I'm not talking about a long term movement, but it might be good to look out for the dollar CAD, and here we're gonna look at it directly, which actually is very pushing. Okay, definitely it's because of oil actually. Negative correlation between oil and the dollar CAD. That's something I keep continuing explaining. You should understand what happened in other assets, because everything is linked. So here it's actually because the market of oil went down strongly last week. The market pushed, make a new high. I was short at that pace here, but oil was very strong. Sorry, was very weak, and then dollar CAD was very strong. So here might be also a key zone to react on the short term. Area. We have also a fresh supply here. We have a fresh supply here. It depends where we go. So you should, be very accurate regarding your entry. You can also try to find any partial entry to build the position. Generally, we never know when we'd be the top, so you cannot go straight 100% margin in right now. We never know when we'd be the top. Maybe some people are already starting to build a position, opening a sell here and then a sell here and then another sell here, and starting to build a position very slowly. There is a trader that does that, and I look at very remarkable. It's Gary Langley. That it's no matter when he will enter the market, he will at the end manage it on a very strong way. So and I keep looking what he's doing. He's trading very nice. So again, don't go full 100% margin at the beginning. It takes some time to understand how to allocate the entry slowly, because it should be very patient. We should be very good psychologically, follow trading plan, and be patient. Okay. So here might be on the dollar CAD, a nice spot to come back to the mean. That's also something what I all the time explain, but you see the market ups and down all the time, and all the time here the market goes back to the mean. At least here we moved up, goes back to the mean. We moved up also here, and we got back to the mean. Also here we push very highly to the extreme Bollinger Bands, so we might goes back to the mean at some point. Even the trend, guys, the trend is bullish. Okay, we know that the trend is bullish. We see that on the weekly chart. We have higher low, higher high. But again, if I are continuing focusing on my plan and what I feel and what I'm comfortable with, the market at some point will go back to the mean and will go back to probably the average. And here on the dollar CAD, it's happened quite a lot of time. Okay, of course the best scenario and the best spot would be to open a buy position, because you will be with the trend and the trend is actually pushing to the upside. But sometimes when you're a trader and you know how to manage those type of risk, starting to build the position here, to go back at least to that area that might be the demand on the not maybe here, but that might be here, especially which would be the demand on the daily chart, is not so bad. And of course we have also the oil indication that here especially might be, of course we can break out, but if we break out we will retrace at some point. This is exactly what's happening here. Let me answer some question on the chat, guys, or even some feedback. Bob have made 0.8% last week. That's a nice result actually. This was very difficult to trade last week with the CPI news. I expected that the market will at least retrace, but the market did not retrace at all, or even very small amount of retrace, which is not enough for me. Lucian is got some partial, and most of you guys were flat before the CPI. That's also a nice decision to be flat. Stephen, hi, whole first time from your live feed. Welcome Stephen. I hope you will like actually the session. How you're a trader with the 5ers, Stephen? Would be good to know. So here, what we can do actually is, generally, I don't open position on Monday. I keep, I want to explain and to analyze the market without making any position. But here, we're gonna make a new trading room on Wednesday with me personally. Tomorrow it will be with Saul. But let's start to build a position here on the dollar CAD. I will, I cannot tell stuff and just put it on the sky. So and let's say leave it on the cloud. If I'm telling something, that means I'm comfortable by doing that, and that my analysis can be good so far. So actually on the M30 minutes, the market is pushing, the H1 is pushing, M5 is pushy also. So we might probably make a new high here, and probably on the whole we're gonna make a new low. So this is the market. So we can actually open a partial entry here. That would not be bad, definitely. So let's start by opening. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that would be my first partial entry here on the dollar CAD. Of course, we don't know where would be the top, but at least when I see this type of huge movement up, I'm expecting a retracement. I already explained why, according to the oil market. There is also the dollar index that we should look actually right now. So maybe let's go into the dollar index. Yeah, this is probably Saul that explained that. Here it was the CPI reaction that was higher than expected. So there is high inflation. The dollar gets stronger because they expect an increase on interest rate. Okay, so very fair explanation. Nothing new here for us. But guys, here on the daily chart, at least on the dollar index, so we had actually a retracement. The CPI went up, and actually the market, is at least on the daily chart, maybe on the 8-4 chart, we can even look at it better. But we have this resistance. We didn't succeed to close above. Here we succeed a bit, but so let's say this is our first area to look for. And then you will have the top here that might be a reaction as well. So of course it's for a short-term basis, okay, guys. But okay, I think there is nothing very bullish here on the dollar index. Of course, we have this area here, which is the reaction after the CPI news. But again, we can go back to at least here, or here it'd be a bit too long, but we can expect it. Yeah, actually we are at the average. Yeah, actually we are at the average, guys, so we might also touch 112. Yeah, so if I want to do something here, it would be only for short-term position. Let's say for the dollar CAD, I won't hold it for a long time. So this would be, for example, my first partial entry in the dollar CAD. Let's say that I just opened a few minutes ago. If the dollar index push here, this probably would be my second partial entry. If the market make a new high above that, I will exit the position. Dollar CAD, I have to look at the dollar index, what's going on, and what's happening in oil market. That will be the two things I will be looking in order to manage also my dollar CAD position. Actually, it's pushing, but that's fine. Like we explained, we are only building the position. We don't expect the market dropping down right now, especially for that position. It's you know, a more swing position than a day trade or a scalp trade. For you guys that were with me on Wednesday, generally I'm doing some scalping, which is you know, you want directly the market goes in your direction, because it generally high lots, high volume, high exposure, very tight stop loss, and generally it's a few minutes position. Here, you know, it's only building the position on the long-term plan. When I mean long-term, it's few days. So yeah, we're gonna be patient for that, and we're gonna see what's happening until Wednesday, and we're gonna make the conclusion on Wednesday about that. Stefan, you're a trader with the 5ers, so that's good to know. That's good to know, and welcome to the trading room. Just for traders that are new with us on those trading room, we have 3 trading room per week, which lasts for 1 hour. Monday, it's generally weekly forecast. You know, you guys, if you have some questions, let me know on the chat. I will be answer the question on, you know, trying to analyze charts. Regarding my point of view, if you have some opportunities also, you know, you can discuss between you guys on the chat. So on Monday, it's weekly forecast. Try to understand a bit fundamentals, big key zone on the main major pairs in Forex. Maybe we're gonna move also to commodities just after, discussing about gold and silver. Tuesday, it's live trading room, let's say day trades. Generally, Saul is making those trading room on Tuesday, doing some scalp, doing some day trades sometimes. So it's more interactive. Actually, he will take some trades, manage it in front of you, and Wednesday it's the same. So here are, let's say, the 3 days of trading room we have at the 5ers. I hope actually it helps some traders that are trading alone from their home. You know, when you have let's say 1 hour, you know, let's say stop and trying to focusing and discussing with other traders, it can be good for you also. I know that for some people it's not helping, it's not helpful because they are only focusing on their strategy, and that's fine to get that, but it's always good, you know, to discuss with other traders, understand what they're doing, what their point of view, what they are looking for. You know, myself, I have a very different approach than Saul that is making the trading room tomorrow, for example. And I know that, for example, new guys on the chat, for example, Bob and Lucian and Frank as well, have different approach in the market. But that's fine. That's always good to interact and discuss. We can always learn from each other, even it will not affect everyone's strategy. So Bob is saying, I watch a swing trade method that has a good backtesting results. It predicts dollar CAD to go to 1.35, 18 it. How do you entry? I would have to stop loss. Okay, so I believe that you are long actually on the dollar CAD, but you went long. Okay, so you went long here. Okay, so you went long a bit here, so you are waiting the price to move to 1.35, 18. Okay, so it's approximately to my stop loss. You know, it's possible, and we can also both winning from that trade. It depends how you manage the trades. It depends how I manage the trades. But again, in order to manage that trade, I will be looking into oil. And I will be looking into the dollar index. Yeah, I did not take the trade, but I watched that system, said Bob. But that's fine, you know, it's always look to backtest. But if you backtest, say that I think a long, I believe here, or yeah, I think a long here, it's not bad because you see the market structure that the market breaked out. You see make breakout, retest. Here we see the breakout, the retest, and then the market starting to move up. We'll see what's happening. We will see what's happening on Wednesday. At least I didn't expect to make a huge winning on one day. I'm still building. I also saw that oil would be stronger, and that's why I'm expecting on oil especially to, you know, to actually give a small retracement from here. Okay, the 80 level, which was the top, the first top, then we move back to 60, and then we move to 120. This might be a key zone in a long-term time scale. So I also expect here gold oil to, you know, to retrace a little bit, maybe not to 100, but at least to, you know, 88, 90, and then my dollar CAD trade would be okay. I can also start to I know that the oil market just opened 20 minutes ago, so that's why you see actually a high volatility here. Oil is actually opening at 9 a.m. Eastern time, definitely when we start actually the session. Stock market will start in the next 10 minutes, so that's also will probably move the dollar. So let's see, actually the market is pushing against me. That would be an opportunity for me to add actually here. Yeah, oil is literally pushing down. We're gonna see if the market goes here. Might be here the next entry for me. Yeah, we just have a push 15 pips against us. That's still fine. Generally, what is interesting in the dollar CAD, especially on the dollar CAD, is when we have, you see a huge volatility movement. You see, for example, here, you see the market reach around 100 pips above the top of the Bollinger Bands. We got a huge rejection. It's quite the same here. It's quite the same here. You see the market closed above the Bollinger Bands, quite here. Also here, if you see on the if you see, for example, here, you see the market was very volatile here, pushed around 200 pips above the Bollinger Bands here, then goes back to the mean. Again, it might be the same scenario. Of course, the trend in a longer time scale is long, but let's open the second part actually here. Okay, we will still continuing building the position, you know, very decent lot size. And we're gonna see, is the 5ers going to make the Gary Dayton webinars available? Yeah, Bob, this is actually we have a lot of new projects ongoing. But I think the dev team is actually working on that, so you should be able to look all the recording sessions of Gary Dayton into your dashboard. So yeah, that's something that will be available. I'm not sure when, but yes, this will be available soon. Hola, Matias. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, but happy to see you here. Okay, let's talk about the euro dollar and the pound dollar. We didn't talk about those major pairs already. I'm, it's already 25 minutes. The time fly. We talked about oil, dollar index. We already have a dollar CAD position that we're gonna monitor during this week. I'm still building the position, so we're gonna have some results on Wednesday. Understand what's going on. But yeah, guys, definitely let's look at the euro dollar to understand what's going on. It's still very actually it's a bit complicated to understand what's going on the euro dollar. We actually again in the middle of the range. Especially what we have on the dollar index. You see, we are not at the extreme zone. On the H4 we have, or even on the H1 we have this huge market structure. So for people that trades actually Asian session, this is very easy to of course you never know when start the consolidation zone, but at least when you see this, you see we actually stopped one time here, second time here, and when you touch the third time here, you can already understand that the market entered a consolidation zone. Okay, and then for people like me that like trading with a low volatility, depends, but I like to play this type of big consolidation zone. Of course, you never know, the market will break somehow on the downside or on the top side. We don't know when, actually. It's very 50% here, 50-50. But when we have this type of zone and you identified it before, you can actually develop a strategy only by doing that. Okay, identified this type of market structure, open at the best accurate price. Let's say you can open a buy here, put the stop loss at I don't know, 5 pips, and having a take profit of 30 pips. The risk reward will be high and depend when you enter, but this can be highly rewarding. Of course, the main disadvantage of this, let's say, this strategy or this trading environment is you don't know when start the price distribution and when this is the end. Okay, at some point the market will break out and we don't know when. And of course the market started, but we don't know when also. But here it's very clear the market is on a range from last week. The market, this was during the CPI, huge volatility movement in less than 2 hours. Let's say it's around 6 hours of dropping down, but 2 hours with high volatility, and then the market take a refresh, starting to slow down. And generally this type of movement, okay, come after a huge volatility movement. Okay, when we have on the Nasdaq also the same here setup. Okay, the Nasdaq actually went down very strongly because of the CPI. The market calmed down here, and actually the market calmed down here. Actually, it's we can find this market structure, but to go back at the euro dollar, we don't know. We actually don't know when the market will go from here. Okay, so in my opinion here on the euro dollar, I will not take any position. Okay, I will not take any position right now because I'm generally expecting a volatility movement and then reacting. Or if I would like to day trade or make some scalping, identify this type of zone, which we just identified before, and play during the zone. Let's say between the zone. That the main setup I'm looking for. But on the H4 chart, guys, or the daily chart, you see we are actually at the middle of, we are actually at the average price in the Bollinger Bands. So actually it's in about how I view the market and the approach I have, it's around 50-50. Okay, the market can move up, can move down, and I don't know when the market can move. However, if I look at the weekly chart or if I look at the monthly chart, we can definitely identify a huge volatility movement on the downside, and I would like to react as a buy position. The market just opened, so let's move back to the Nasdaq to find what's happening there. Thank you, Lucian, for informing on the chat. Already 9:30 Eastern time. But what is good here on the Nasdaq is that it's being difficult to make a lower low. Okay, so here the market went down 2% down, and here on the pre-market we didn't succeed to break a new low. That generally happens. Pre-market is very slow, and you will find a lot of consolidation zone on the pre-market, and you see that the market is, you know, accumulating at some point. I don't know how to explain that, but you see we have this type of oh, at least I don't know. Okay, so we have actually this type of, we have a huge movement here, and then the market starting to dropping down in terms of volatility and movement. Okay, it became much more long in order to break at any point. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, but the market is dropping in terms of volatility, and at some point we will break in two sides. Today it might be on the upside, at least for a short-term movement. But again, if you guys know my point of view, I will not opening a sell position in that area, as the market already pushed very strongly on the downside. And here we have some nice divergence in stochastics. Actually, we have this new low, and here on stochastics on H1, the market is flat. Okay, so here might be, you know, the beginning of a movement. At least we can go back to this area on the Nasdaq. That's something we can look for. Okay, the market is pushing. Can you tell me what is the setup you use for the Bollinger Bands indicators? Yeah, standard settings, 20 standard deviation. 20 standard deviation. Period 20, deviation 2. So easy. Easy peasy. So we talked about the euro dollar, we talked about the Nasdaq a bit. What I think. Let's talk about gold. Yeah, let's talk about gold. That make a new low already. You see 1,665 for gold, which is again something I didn't expect for. Definitely. Let's say this is not that I didn't expect that, but you know, at some point the market have to break out. Okay, the market. And this is a support. Let's say yearly support or monthly support from April 2020, and we touched this here plenty of times, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last week when the market bounced a bit, and then we broke out below. Again, on gold, I would prefer to wait another movement. Opening a buy here might be a bit too early. Even my mind said to me, okay, the market make a breakout. There is huge volatility. We are at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. On the H4, you start by looking here that the market is not giving any movement lower. Here we had this nice flag, if you guys looked at. We had this flag, and then the market breaks below the 1,680 level. But generally, gold, when it comes to gold, when the market is dropping, this is dropping much more than that. So I would prefer to wait than the market get far from from the mean and then reacting. Again, I know that a lot of traders might be shorting gold here, and I accept the decision, but my approach will tell me not selling gold here. As you may understand, for most of you guys that keep coming to my trading room, I'm not overreacting after a huge volatility movement. It's like here, you see on the daily chart, the market is pushed. Yeah, let's move back to the past and explaining why here I will not open a sell. Even there is plenty of space for gold to go lower. Here, okay. So for example, we had this line with the market here. We had a supply area on the weekly chart. Then the market breaked out. Then the market did that, and then some traders, okay, probably open a buy here. Okay, so they start winning, and then the market go back to the mean, and then continue sliding down. Okay, of course, a lot of traders will tell you, yeah, you should go with the trend. The trend is up, so you should buy. But the fact is that you don't know when the trend will end. Okay, and for that, you should build a position. For a trader that is a bit smart and try to already backtest a lot of this approach, we'll start by building the position here. We say, okay, the market is overextended. I expect, I don't know when. Okay, here it's a matter of day. You see, if I open selling here, the market, it takes 3 days with a huge volatility movement, and then the market get down. But if you know how to scale your trades and manage your trade with a good risk management, and I think this is most of how Gary Langley is trading. Okay, so we'll start by opening a sell here, and then the market goes against you and say, okay, the market continuing is this huge overextended movement. I will open a sell here and a sell here and a sell here, whatever. Okay, I'm just selling, and then the market will go back to the mean. We'll go back here and we will exiting the market. Okay, so that's one example. Of course, the fact is doing that is very difficult because the market can go against you 5%, 6%, 7%, and you need to hold these trades. You need to be patient, and again, you need to know how to allocate the lot size for each entry. Okay, you cannot like go half here and half here, because then your stop loss will be here, and you will get stopped out. Okay, so you need to understand when is the maximum point when the market can push, in order to be comfortable with this push. Actually, in the dollar CAD, if I go with my example, okay, I'm actually starting to build the position in the longer time frame. I'm ready to the market to push at least here, let's say a bit here. It depends what's happening in whole, but I will be ready to get all this drawdown and keep holding my position until the market goes back here. Okay, so of course, when I will have a loss, it will be like a huge loss, but most of the time the market will go back to the mean. It's the same here. We see on the left side. Okay, when we have that, okay, when for example you want to start building the position here, you see this movement up. It's like a 5% movement up on the left side of the screen. So you start building sell here, sell here, sell here, and boom, the market goes back to the mean. So this is again my approach. Definitely, I know that it's not for everyone. It's not comfortable for everyone. But this is how I view the market, and I hope, guys, that you can bring a little bit of my understanding into your strategy or into your approach as well. Hi Ruben, love from Zimbabwe. Hi Stephen, thank you for being here. Explain the news of the week and the impact in the market. That's something we can do as well, but there will be ECB news, as Lucian explained, that this will be the main news for that week. Of course, there will be NFP, there will be CPI, there will be all those main news that we are still waiting for each week. But we can go to, I think Forex Factory is the best one to look at the economic calendar. There is also investing.com that we can look for. And we have on Wednesday the FOMC statement, so probably expecting an increase in interest rate of 0.75 points. So the market, I believe already that the market already priced it. But let's look at that together, okay? Here we have the Forex Factory calendar. We have the CPI on CAD tomorrow, so that's maybe a good news for me for the dollar CAD position that I'm actually trading for. We have the ECB Lagarde speaks tomorrow as well on the euro. And then here, this will be the big news of the week as usual. FOMC statement, we're going to talk about interest rate in US. We are expecting, so actually the rate is 2.50%. And the forecast is increasing for 0.75 points. And the market already knows that, guy, okay? The market already knows that the Fed will increase the interest rate. So if the market say, okay, on Wednesday we're gonna increase the interest rate for 0.75, the market already priced it, okay? So we can, and probably that's also why the Nasdaq went down 5% last week, and the market, I think, already priced it. So we're gonna see what will happening in the market, but I would prefer to be flat again before that. But again, in the long term context, I would be long in the indices in any case. And then we have Bank of Japan, MPC, official bank rate votes. Yeah, we have also the pound bank rates Thursday, and then we're gonna have the CPI. Sorry, the PMI on Friday. Okay, so we have a lot of news that week, but that's something we are used to already. When there is a news like interest rate, for 2 years, 3 years, we didn't change interest rate in US. Actually, there is inflation, so every week or maybe every 2 weeks we're gonna have, hey guys, we're gonna hike interest rate. Oh, big news, good news, and and then the market will move 4-5%. So that's why there is a lot of volatility. Okay, and then the Nasdaq is pushing. That's something I was expecting for. Maybe I think the market can push. At least the market is probably getting to push here, when we're going to have some sellers already here, and if the market on the long term would like to push, it will push here. So I believe here today the dollar is getting down a bit. The Nasdaq is pushing. I believe that actually the dollar index is a bit dropping down. Yeah, only a retracement actually of this resistance here. What we have in the euro dollar, nothing interesting. Dollar, and we had an interesting position last week here with the sell after this huge news on the CPI already. Actually, we make a new low already on the pound. The pound is very weak. What's happening on the whole? I think that whole might be pushing right now, if we see that. Of course, in a very short time frame, but yeah, okay. We have actually demand here creating. You see at the 82 level, that's something I expect from whole to push. We have here on the M15 minutes or even the M5 minutes, we see this double bottom here after this huge downtrend. and then the market starting to push. Okay, so that's nice. It's only a short time frame reaction, guys. Frank is scalping today. Yeah, let us know how your trade is going on, Frank, if you're scalping. Actually, today I'm not scalping. You see, it's only a swing position. But Wednesday, I'm gonna scalp, I think. Wednesday, sorry. If you guys have another question on the chat, let me know. I would be happy to answer. I think we go almost over everything for that week. But you know, the mindset is the same for me, guys. After a huge reaction, here it's the pound dollar. You see the market pushed up very strongly here. I expect here the market. Okay, the pound dollar will go back at least. I don't know to here. It's probably the retracement. It's probably the inflection point, and then what we have, a news regarding CPI in US, and smash the market down. So you know, it's a news that the market didn't expect for, and then the market tried to react here. Not enough. The market pushed, make a new low. At some point, I expect the pound dollar to goes up. I expect the euro dollar to goes up. Again, we don't know when. It's very difficult to time. Actually, that it was very difficult to manage the trades when I was long. In order to exceed the position and manage, it was very big headache for me here. Also here, you see when we have this downtrend, inflection, then the market break, push. But yeah, the pound is very weak on the long term. We see that on the weekly chart. The market make a new low on the monthly chart here already. What do you expect? How far the dollar CAD will drop? Again, I expect the dollar CAD to go back to the mean. It depends so far, but maybe 200 pips down, something like that. I'm not expecting, and I won't hold the trade until the lower band, which should be very greedy as a trader to wait 500 pips. Even the market is on a extreme point. So I will be exiting the market. You see at the let me change that line, then you will understand. At the purple line, okay. My purple line will be, let's say, the average price for the dollar CAD in a weekly time scale. So I expect the market to at least go back here. It's a 200 pips drop. Again, a reminder, guys. As usual, the trades and the analysis I'm doing is not for trading advices at all. Okay, if you agree with me, not agree with me, it's only from an educational purposes. Trading is at your own risk, and again, those trades are only my trades. I'm not influencing anyone. Important to say that, but it's important for us to explain that. Hi Ruben, thank you for the mentorship. You're welcome. I hope you like that. Outside the training room, how can one learn more from you? Do you have any other content? I think I don't have. Most of my, let's say, content I have with the 5ers. Outside of that, I'm working for the trading desk and the risk management here at the 5ers. But regarding live content and any video I have, it's only from the trading room already. So I'm making 2 trading room per week, so you have, I think, a lot of trading room to look. Of course, it will not be with the live market, but every trading room you can use or learn a little bit from the tips I'm giving or the advices I'm explaining. But I have also made some webinars on the 5ers. I explained gold, silver. I also explained commodities 1.5 years ago. What else? Made some webinars on risk management. I think you can find some videos on YouTube on the 5ers. But I don't have a special course, let's say. Well, guys, okay, you see, we just get to the end. Well, anyway, okay, I'm just came back. The camera just turned off at the end of the session, so it might be the moment to, to say you goodbye. Again, I wish you guys a nice trading week. If you have any question, let us know on the help desk, whatever. Again, I really appreciate to make those trading room with you guys. We're gonna meet each other on Wednesday. I will be managing the dollar CAD position. Again, sorry for the technical issue at the end. The camera just turned off because of the temperature, so that's fine. But guys, let's meet each other on Wednesday. I invite you to come tomorrow as well with Saul. That's gonna make a live trading room. And again, guys, have a nice trading week. Be careful. Respect your own strict risk management rules. Sorry, and yeah, guys, have a nice day. See you.